connect. Here's Grayson again, trying the hand from long range this time as he finds the bottom of the net.
To the way Milwaukee's playing, they all know where each other are, making the easy pass. Look at Bobby on the break.
And then the follow-up is the Grizzlies commit their second turnover in this game, and they needed him to. In the wake of Brook Lopez, his first free throw goes down. The Milwaukee Bucks are back in action. Still searching for their first points, a score that the Brewers would be proud of until there. The shutout is over, Steve. It's now hoping to be back sometime in between the Halloween and January. So it's a wide window, and all of a sudden Memphis. So I think that's just about the entire team.
It does feel like it. And those guys, they do make Memphis one of the most exciting teams. Nice finish there by Wolf.
He's a French Bulldog enthusiast, which speaks to my heart. We'll learn a little more about that later on here as Anderson knocks this one down.
Full court, picking up all the guards. You're just starting to see glimpses of things, so we'll see.
Grayson Allen knifing his way to the hole.
Great in camp. I think kind of the way this game started was very indicative of camp. Grayson, Bobby.
A little bit of range being shown off right there from David Roddy. Speaking of
assistant turnover there, Conchar with the easy finish.
Well, Memphis starting to get things ratcheted. I mentioned the busy offseason that he had. Ibaka tries to get in the way, but a nice bit of passing down there to set up Aldama.
If you don't think any of these young guys, and long pass by Sandro over Marjan's head, but it has an
2-year deal. He was one of 6 guys that the Bucks have signed in the offseason, and now the Grizzlies continuing to pour it on. They're going to have a chance. And he'll get a third opportunity as he's fouled, continuing to battle.
I mean, what he's been able to do with this franchise is a lot. That's remarkable. Mamu with a nice left-hand finish in the paint, but I think
CU played with Bones Highland there. Jordan Wara looking awfully smooth for the Bucks. They're back to within 2 of Gilliard. And there's the reach foul. Memphis had one to give. So Milwaukee's got to work fairly quickly here, but 6.8 seconds, you got plenty of time to do what you want.
Of course, Chris Middleton missed part of the playoffs with an MCL sprain in his knee, but that left wrist injury actually came in the latter part of the season.
George Hill uncorks a 3, and he'll knock one down to connect. Little runner from the free throw line, and that one drops. Memphis, and he's got to pick up a little bit of that load, and Anderson gone as well. Speaking of getting it going, Jordan Wara once again showed
know where each other are going to be. Look at Drew. What great awareness, unselfishness. That's beautiful.
Points off turnovers. Finish that time. Now Memphis with numbers. Anderson. Check that. That was Chandler laying in and up close.
BA money. That's all right. Larry Bird he's more mad than I am.
That's right. Three ball goes down the hatchet on a nice jumper from Zion. Ahead by 3. Bobby Portis finds his way down low as he slithers to the cup. Chandler maneuvering again. Conchar, outside shooter. That's what he's known for, but he's
for a task. And I'm sure Middleton agrees, but at least it's not his shooting hand, so we know that shot will come back right.
I'm going to say, if you're a Bucks fan, summertime is. So Carrie Underwood, superstar Carrie Underwood, is bringing the Denim and Rhinestones tour, promoted by Allen, continuing to maneuver in the paint and showing that ability to. This is bound and determined to use all those guys. They wouldn't normally. Allen not this time. Hill a nice rebound, and there's the 2-hand plunge. Memphis trying to get some action going here as Lofton finds a little elbow opening to put the Grizz back ahead by 12.
I really expect him to be a big-time addition when he comes back, maybe January or February.
Yeah, both these teams that were watching occurred much later for Memphis. Actually was Philly at the time, but they acquire him as Brook Lopez shows a little.
Doing all that they do on the perimeter, and they still know they can send their guys to Brook, and they got to answer to him at the rim, but spacing that floor, pulling.
Facing both sides of the floor. Beauchamp pure on both of his free throws.
To see him respond. This is a game of runs, and nice knockdown there. The appeal to this Bucks team is they're doing it organically. They're doing it with guys that you'd love to watch, and Giannis obviously leading the way with it. There's no doubt they're not giving too many calls to rookies.
Third foul on Aldama. There's no plays and all the shimmies too. Grab your calendar and head to bucks.com/tickets to 2-point lead inside of a minute now. Aldama gets it beneath everybody. Jump shot touched every part of the cylinder. Wouldn't go, but Wara says, look at what I found. And he will get the benefit of the roll on that. Separated by about 7 seconds here is Milwaukee trying to answer. Holiday hits his second. He's going to step back. Check that. That is his first foul. He will make a pair, and we sit 2 points separating these teams.
But there's no question there's a big brother and a little brother. Milwaukee with the championship with Giannis at 27 years old. You got Ja, who wants to do what Giannis has done. I mean, if you don't talk about Taylor Jenkins in Memphis, who came in at the same time as Ja, if you don't talk about Coach Budenholzer and the culture that he's created, I think you're missing some of the really.
You better draft well, and you better get a star. And check for these two teams as the Bucks come away with a loose change. Jordan Nwora.
And you nailed it, Dave, when you said small markets. It's like this is a new era in the NBA for Memphis, the smallest TV market in the entire. Nice shot by Grayson. Good offense. But you got to love it. Look where they're picking up. Bobby's up there pressuring all the way to the perimeter. And I think you saw it turn at halftime. The field goals, the offense, it's affected by it. Nice finish right there by Conchar. But
you're talking about Grayson with the long-range stuff. It's Conchar who's been attacking inside 2 for the bulk of his score.
Game 2, you can tell he handles it. He's a threat to shoot it or put it on the floor, and so it keeps defenses kind of at bay.
Have not trailed here in the half. And Conchar, Bobby Portis drawing some attention, gets rid of it. Now Carter will try his hand from long range. No, sir. Ibaka. He shows them how it's done. Man, I'll tell you what.
You got to sit down. You're hurting the team if you can't.
Hit 35% of his threes a season ago. Now he's not pleased with this ruling as he was trying to defend on Brandon Clark. Or was it Steve Novak? Looks like he got him.
He got him a couple times. The right hand on his search. He likes to argue, but every once in a while I think he catches himself. He's like,
credit here, producer and director, no less. He said, not necessarily hand in the cookie jar. That was his elbow in the cookie jar. That's the bottom line. Here comes Carter on the other side. Yes, sir.
In the league, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, you think you want a dog, you think you should buy a.
The other way on the easy lane from David Roddy.
Impressive wheels for Roddy.
Now Portis fades and fires. Smooth looking jumper for BP.
BBA P3
I think his words were, if I'm open,
đặt cược ăn tiền thật, nạp rút tiền về thẻ ATM chỉ trong 5 phút.
Shooting, I think you quickly learn. You got to play your role. You got to fit the system, or it's not going to work, and that's why he's here. You got to find the right fit
for the Bucks. Nwora working it to the outside. Beauchamp launches, no good, but Wigginton there to lay it in. Up was holding that like it was a firstborn child. Here's a 3-point shot that goes astray. Nwora glides inside.
In that restricted area, go ahead and force the action.
Bango's Kids Club, presented by BMO, is the perfect way to get.
Thanasis. All right, can I just get loose a couple times down and back before I got to go up?
Drills the 3-pointer, and Milwaukee has its largest lead of the night now in the 96-97. But again, you said it, a whole cast of different characters here tonight. And here's Mamu slicing and dicing his way inside this time. 3-ball, then the end.
For Memphis, and Thanasis is in that group. They're the opposite. I think they're uncomfortable when there's not contact.
A multi-platinum progressive with TSO and more, presented by Hallmark Channel, with 2 shows at Fiserv Forum on December 22nd at 3 p.m. Shot clock back to 14, now at 5 though, as Lofton uses that big frame to power his way inside for another
for Memphis, but they get the job done. I think about some of the undersized big men in this league that have made their name from all over the world.
It's become an increasingly global game as Mamu Kelishvili from Luka Vildoza out there right now, just to name a couple. Thanasis of Greece. 3 of your 5 players right now on the floor.
But winning. I think it's just really cool. Russell Westbrook was a teammate of mine who was very similar to that. He would be crazy on the court.
Anymore. He said the last time I watched it, I cried even more, and then I watched it again and I cried more. He said,
and they're not afraid to cry. Here's Thanasis. He's not afraid to float one up, try to play the better part. Quickly, Grizzlies in transition. They're going to get more points. Another and one opportunity now for Kenny Lofton Jr.
Middle East, so of course the Bucks trend setting, and those international games, the excitement, the atmosphere, you can just feel.
Lofton Jr., by the way, as Nwora buries the 3-pointer, and the Bucks go back ahead now by different players have different opinions of playing overseas as Chandler lays that one in up close. Boasting that this group seems to be on board and then some about the trip as Mamu connects up close.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, from a coach's perspective, and like you're saying, players, a team's perspective, I think nice knockdown there by Jake Arabia. There's no question. You understand your platform. You understand how unbelievable it is to be in the NBA. Our coach Golden not going to realize how often are you going to actually get to go do that. Nice finish right there by Kennedy Chandler.
And all of a sudden a flurry of three-point before a back-to-back in the preseason. Like, what diabolic schedule maker came up with that idea as a three-pointer goes down?
I'll tell you, what did the Bucks do? They talked to somebody wrong. Essentially.
We got an and one here. It's over there, picked up by Chandler. He's looking for his 7th assist here, and he will not get it, but give him a hockey assist for your regular season opener in Philly. That should be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, you would certainly expect.
Youngsters trying to show their mettle here late. Nice little runner, rolls over for.
There's a 10-0 run before that, putting a stop to it, getting a 2-point lead.
Arabia airmails the shot. He's going to call team's preseason encounter. Here's a go-ahead bucket, leaking out to lay it in. Up close, David Miller's got it now. He's been outstanding for Memphis in his debut. Feeds inside, Aldama lays it in through a little contact. No.